Someone needs a nap. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Ah, shit! Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, who said anthem. Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, who said anthem. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of He Said, Who Said. I'm Marty and this is my co-host Henry. He's also my adorable son. Today we're going to be reviewing a book called That's Not My Monster by Fiona Watt and Rachel Wells. An Usborne touchy-feely book. Oh, lots of touching and feeling in this book. Okay. The book actually starts on the cover, so here we go. That's not my monster. Its nose is too bobbly. Bloop, 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 bloop. Haha, we're having fun already. That's not my monster. Its eyebrows are too hairy. Ooh, you feel that? It's got an Ernest Borgnine thing going on. That's not my monster. Its spikes are too fuzzy. Oh yeah, they sure are. That's not my monster. Its paws are too bumpy. Woo! That's not my monster. Its horns are too rough. Okay. That's my monster. Its ears are so fluffy. I can't believe we misplaced that monster. How could we have forgotten? Oh, I'm glad we looked through the lost and found your monster. Okay. Woo! Oh, you got your hand caught there, buddy. Alright, screw this. I just want to congratulate you if you made it this far. Yeah, that book was sort of a decoy. I just had to shake people off my tail, if you get my drift, make them think I was doing something else. And I know, that's not my monster, might have made a riveting review, but we actually reviewed a movie this week. That's right. We're going to be talking about
The Gates of Hell.
by Italian filmmaker and the godfather of gore, Lucio Fulci. Let's do it. That's right, The Gates of Hell, also known as City of the Living Dead, from 1980. Now, before any of you goes nuts on me, I just want to say that this was Henry's choice, okay? I held him up to his movie collection, and he flew right past Ratatouille and landed on Gates of Hell. Okay, Henry, what do you want to watch? Oh, look at that. We got Anna Green Gables. Remember Gilbert Blythe calls Anne carrots and she freaks out? You can watch that. Got Goonies, Incredibles, Iron Giant, Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2. What movie do you want to watch? Oh, are you sure? I don't know if you're ready for that one. All right. Looks like we're watching Gates of Hell. And I'm not going to argue with an infant, okay? If this is the movie that's going to help him go down for a second nap, fine. Gates of Hell it is. And he's been so cocky about completing this creepy course. Just bragging about, I stared down the eyes of an umbrella. It's like, I can take anything. All right, fine, hotshot. We're gonna watch Gates of Hell. All right, so for a breakdown, the movie opens in a small village in England called Dunwich. A priest is walking around a cemetery, and then it cuts abruptly to New York, where there's a seance going on between a few hippy-dippy types. And one woman named Mary Woodhouse has some kind of psychic connection and sees the priest hang himself. Like, oh, bummer. And we hardly got to know him. And she starts screaming, and she flies back. And immediately after this guy dies, we start hearing the moans of the spirits in the cemetery. So apparently when the priest died, the gates of hell opened up. So this detective comes in, starts questioning the people from the seance, accuses them of all smoking grass, and, just doesn't want to hear anything that they're telling him. Like, they're basically doomed in a few days, because once All Saints Day comes around, that's when all the dead will rise, and, humanity's existence will be threatened, blah, 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 that kind of deal. Enter Peter Bell, a journalist from the New York Times that's investigating the death of Mary Woodhouse. And this leads into my favorite sequence in the movie. There's a couple of lazy grave diggers that are half-heartedly shoveling dirt onto Mary's casket, and they sort of just, piss off and take a lunch break. And Peter is walking around the cemetery, and we discover that Mary has been buried alive. Her eyes open, and she starts screaming and pounding the sides of the casket, and we could just barely hear her muffled voice coming from beneath the ground. But Peter hears something, and for the next 2 or 3 minutes, it's just agonizing, because he knows he hears something, but it just takes him forever to wander over to the casket. And he keeps going, I hear something. Meh. And he starts to walk away again. And meanwhile, Mary is gasping her last breath, and it just looks like, all right, that's it. She's dead. But somehow she manages to belt out one last scream. And Peter hears it, and he comes running, and he grabs a pickaxe, and he swings down at the casket, and he busts right through and almost pierces Mary's eyes. It's insane. So we don't know if he's going to save her or kill her or impale her, Alfred Hitchcock passed away the year this movie came out. I think he would have loved this sequence. And say what you will about Fulci and, stupid gore movies or whatever, but this is a well-directed scene. And now here's some highlights from when Henry and I were watching the movie earlier. Don't look at that. Don't look at that either. Nope. Nope. There's no use. I'll just be covering his eyes the whole time. Your mom's gonna kill us. Oh, that's so disgusting. You must have an iron stomach. Oh, okay, I gotta wrap this up because Mommy's gonna get home soon. I think this was truly one of the most disgusting movies I've ever seen in my life. I admire the cool gore effects on display here, but barf me out, man. Like, I can only take so much. I think Henry thought this was a slapstick comedy. Now, for any parents that are considering showing this movie to their baby, I just want to warn you, there are a few objectionable things in this movie. Suicide by hanging, bodies devoured by worms, a blow-up doll that inflates itself, a cat attack, casual reference to incest, open graves, decomposed bodies, regurgitated intestines, a guy gets his head crushed and his brain squeezed out, heads get chunked, de-chunked, more heads get chunked, excessive worms and goo, rats, hand mauling, a man gets drilled through the head, I still don't know why exactly, bleeding walls, bleeding eyes, bleeding blood, impalements, and excessive screaming. Oh yeah, and then there's this scene with the gravediggers.
Oh man, check this out. Talk about a box lunch.
I'm telling you, you'll become a dirty old man reading that stuff. A pervert, a peeping Tom. I saw this porno flick once. A guy in the audience got so carried away he humped himself to death.
Yeah, but what a way to go.
Mild profanity, no nudity. Hey, maybe this movie is okay. I know some parents that be like, I don't care if my son sees someone's innards get ripped out, as long as they don't see any tits. But there are a lot of good things going for this movie. There's, really moody lighting, gross makeup effects. There's no shortage of fog in this movie. I mean, they probably had a $2 million budget just for the fog that they just kept pumping through the streets nonstop. And I gotta say, I've never seen a movie where 1 million maggots are shot at the actors. Kudos to them for putting up with that shit. I also really love how the dead priest keeps appearing, just like beep, candygram, just like boing. The movie is garbage, but it's grade A garbage, okay? And I gotta give it a light recommendation just because it passes my 3 requirements that I look for in a film. And that's, does the film have a fire suit stuntman? Yes, it does. Does the film have a kitty cat jump scare? Yes, it does. And does somebody say the title? Yes. Not only that, she says both titles in the same breath.
The city of the dead. The living dead. A cursed city. Where the gates of hell have been opened.
Extra points. All right, that's it. We gotta wrap this up. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any recommendations, a movie you'd like us to review, please leave it in the comments below. If you liked what you saw today, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Let your friends know that we have a fun show. We do all kinds of different reviews. Obviously, this was a radical departure from the usual stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Sorry.